we are now with Dr. Gurge sir from Sri Lanka. He is the chief guest, resource person for this session. Myself, Dr. Rajendra Dandavate, takes opportunity to introduce today's resource person, Dr. W.A.H.P. Gurge sir from Sri Lanka. Dr. Gurge sir is working in Faculty of Science, University of Rohuna, Matra, Sri Lanka, in Department of Zoology. Sir has a PhD from Fisheries Biological Science, and sir having presently working as in this department. Publications. Sir has published about 5 research papers in different journals, and also published number of research papers in proceedings conferences. Sir has also participated in number of conferences, also working as the resource persons. Sir also received the award from the Precedence Research bonus in 1999. Also best overall presenter. Along with this, sir is awardee for IBT University. Sir has also evaluated a number of theses from the PhD, and sir also give the special training to different students also. Sir having the good research experience, its citation is about 129, and sir having a good knowledge about his subjects. Today, sir will discuss with us on the topic circular economy, a tool to tackle biodiversity loss. Now, sir, I request you kindly guide our participants. Thanks, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for good afternoon to all of you. First of all, I would like to thank the principal sir of the Mula Education Society, Arts, Commerce and Science College, Sonai, to this as a keynote speaker of this International Conference on Change in Perspective in Environment, Management, Humanities, Science and Technology. And also I would like to thank Dr. Rajendra sir, because he's the person who contacted me. I think he got this contact with, through the Dr. Ashok. And also I would like to thank Dr. Ashok sir also. And also I would thank to the convener of this conference, Dr. Lore, and all the thanks all the other distinguished members. Okay. So can I share my screen now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Okay, sir.
So can you see the screen?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
So my topic is circular economy, that is a tool to tackle biodiversity loss. This is newly, actually it's not new area, new buzzword. Circular economy is come very earlier, but to the society it come very late. I'm the Guruge from the University of Rohuna, Matra. And so what is the circular economy? First we have to see what is the circular economy. So it is a model of production and consumption. Circular economy is a model of the production and also consumption. So we are producing some goods and some services which involves these things: sharing, leasing, reusing, repairing, refurbishing, and recycling. So any production and any consumption, it is concerned in all these things: sharing the knowledge, sharing the resources, sharing the products, leasing, reusing, repairing, refurbishing, and recycling existing material and products as long as possible. So this is the concept, or this is the objective, this is the principle of the circular economy. It is a product, a model. We can do any production in the economy. We have to do any productions or services we have to provide. So those have these things: sharing, is characteristic, leasing, reusing, repairing, refurbishing, and the recycling. So in this way, the life cycle of product is extended. So any product, it has a life cycle itself. So this life cycle of the product is further extended. So the circular economy comes as an alternative to the method of the linear economy. The opposite of the circular economy is the linear economy. So this circular economy first coined by the persons called Pierce and Turner in 1989. but theory originated from the 1960. This theory originated in 1960, but it come to the science world in 1989, that coined by the Pierce and the Turner. So circular economy is based on three principles. This is driven by first one, elimination waste and pollution. Elimination waste and pollution. The next one is circulate the products and material and regenerate nature. So these are three things, three principles that based on the circular economy. In the circular economy, we have to consider eliminate the waste and pollution, then circulate products and the materials, regenerate nature. So if any industry, any person who follow these three principles, ultimately and automatically, we can conserve the biodiversity and we can stop the loss of the biodiversity. So eliminate waste and pollution. Let's see in the section of the food. So we can adopt some practices called the regenerative outcomes. This we can reduce or eliminate the needs of synthetic fertilizers, pesticide, and other inputs that harm biodiversity. Okay, and plastic packaging, if you consider plastic, that's a very big problem now. Plastic, polythene, even in the microplastic in the food web of the marine ecosystem and the freshwater ecosystem, microplastic. So in the plastic packaging, how we involve the circular economy. So we can eliminate non-essential packaging items using innovative materials that are edible or redesigning the products and business model. This is a way we use in the circular economy, eliminating non-essential packaging items, then using innovative materials that are edible or redesigning the products and the business models. Finally, we have circulate products and materials. Here, if we consider the built environment, we can design the buildings to make use of reusable modular concrete component. Designing the building to make use of reusable modular concrete component. This is in the built-in environment. And also we can reduce demand for sand. We have to use other alternative, the extraction of which harms local wildlife population. And is occurring at rates beyond those that can be naturally replenished. So we can use another alternative instead to land without harming to our wildlife or local population or local wildlife population. And consider durable goods about the circular products and material. We can use the recycled metals in electronic devices, means less metal needs to be processed from ore and fewer mines, leaving more room for the biodiversity. If we reduce the mining areas, we can reduce the getting the ore for the metal. So that means when we are doing this mining and getting ore, we have to destroy large area with the forest and other things. So we can conserve our biodiversity if we use circular economy in the durable goods. In regenerative nature, consider food production on land. So designing food products with a diverse range of regenerative produced ingredients, it promotes the biodiversity by supporting farming system. So in the food production on land, regarding regenerate nature, we have to design food products with a diverse range of regeneratively produced ingredients. Those promotes biodiversity by supporting the farming system. In the forestry, how we use this regenerative nature, we can draw in on the forest management approaches such as the continuous cover forestry and employing the practices such as using mixed stands, then sparing vegetarian trees and leaving the dead wood. So in this way, we can support to the circular economy through the regenerate nature. So consider linear economy. Linear economy, so this is opposite. So what is we have done in linear economy? It is traditional linear economy, but follows the following. We take the materials, or we take the resources from the nature, harming the biodiversity. Then we make some good, then we dispose. There's no recycle, no reuse, no replenishment. So this is in the linear economy. So that's why the term circular economy introduced to the world to conserve the biodiversity and reduce the disposable material. So maximizing the uses of the collected raw material before it transforms them into products, eventually disposing of the unusable material. So main contrast, main difference between the circular economy and the linear economy is the circular economy, we give the priority for the services, but in the linear economy, we give the priority for the goods or products, not the services. So it exhausts raw material and energy, which result in the carbon dioxide emission in the linear economy. There is no that 3R system, therefore it results in the emission of the carbon dioxide. This is the one of the most efficient greenhouse gas leading to the global warming. And it's statistically around 68% of input raw materials. These are from non-renewable nature. Those poses serious problem and threat to the environment. And also it gives us the power to grow, prosperity, jobs, and resilience, circular economy, but cutting the greenhouse gas emissions, waste, and pollution. If we follow the circular economy principles, it gives us the power to grow prosperity, jobs, and resilience. Resilience means when some ecosystem or some habitat damage, the process it take into the original condition, we call the resilience. So we can get the resilience if we use the circular economy instead to linear economy. And also we can cut the greenhouse gas emissions, waste, and the pollution. So in circular economy, we use the 3R system. We consider three R's. So what are the 3 R's? So reducing negative impact, we use recycle, reuse, and reduce. These are 3R in the circular economy to reduce the negative impacts. But these are not considered in the linear economy, because linear economy main target is the profit, and also main target is only the product. They are not considered about the nature, or they are not considered about the services. So increasing the positive impact also, there are other R's. These are the remediate, restore, and regenerate. But presently we are not consider more on emphasis, not more emphasis on these 3R, this remediate, restore, and the regenerate. We are consider about the recycle, reuse, and reduce. So this is a picture we show that whole thing here in the circular economy. We have recycle, reduce, reuse, and reduce. This is reduce the negative impact. To increase the positive impact, we have regenerate, restore, and remediate. So in the reduce mean resources use minimize. If we use low amount of resources, we can minimize. That is, we call reduce. If we use low amount of less amount of resources, that means automatically it will conserve the biodiversity. And here reuse of products and parts is maximized. That also we don't need to exploit again the forest, or don't need to exploit the mines, don't exploit any resources from the biodiversity. So it can lead to the conserve of the biodiversity by the reuse principle. Recycle, here raw materials are reused or recycled to a high standard. So even the recycle, we can conserve the biodiversity using these principles of the recycle. So let's see the circular economy versus linear economy. So this any economy, it is a two parts that drive the industry wheel of production. So any production, we have to consider the economy. If we are not managed properly economy, including like now the situation Sri Lanka and other country, the inflation rate may be very high if we are not properly manage our economic status. So linear economy, it is focused on the products, as I mentioned earlier. Cycling economy, it is focused on the service. This is the main characteristics of the two economy system. Linear economy mainly focused on the products. Cycling economy mainly focused on the services. Let's see the difference between the linear and the circular economy. So in the step plan, linear economy, it is a take, make, dispose. We take these resources from the biodiversity, we exploit biodiversity, we take the resources, then using these resources, we make some goods or some services, then we use it, after use it, we dispose it. This is the step plan in the linear economy. In the circular economy, it is reduce, reuse, recycle, reusable. So all of these three lead into the conserve of the biodiversity. The focuses, here it is eco-efficiency, here it is eco-effectivity. These are two things in the linear economy and the circular economy. Focus on the eco-efficiency, and circular economy, it is eco-effectivity. The system boundaries, it is short term from purchase to sale. Here it is long term, multiple life cycles, system boundaries. The reuse ability, it is downcycling, this is upcycling, that means we are cascading and get high grade recycling material. And business model, focus on the product, here it is focused on the services. So these are the main differences between the linear economy and the circular economy. So in the picture, about the two things, in the linear economy, we take material, we make it, we use it, we use.
So the PPT is not visible, sir.
Not visible?
Yes, sir, it is not visible, sir.
Earlier slide also?
Yes, sir. Earlier also it was a problem. I thought it was set right, but it's not visible now.
Okay, okay, sir.
Now it's okay?
Oh, yes, sir, okay.
This one not visible?
Sir.
Visible
or not? Sorry?
Yes, visible, sir.
Okay.
Visible.
Okay.
Visible, sir.
So this is in the linear economy. We take the material from the nature or biodiversity, that means our ecosystem. Then we make it some goods. Then we make some goods. Then we use these goods. Either we consume it, or we get some satisfaction of these uses. Then we dispose it after some time. Then we pollute them. Hello? It's okay? In the circular economy, what we are doing, we make these, we take these resources, we make it, we use it, reuse, remake, recycle. It goes as a cycle, but here no cycle. There's end. It's a linear. This is cyclic things. And also here you can get more idea. We have energy and material input. We have there's production, distribution, then use, disposal, waste and emission, decay. So this is the linear. And if we apply the circular, we can dispose it. Without the disposal, we can reuse it. We can remanufacture using the disposal material, refurbishing, and so we can recycle up to here. And also longer use, intensifying use of the dematerialization. This is the part of the circular economy. The main thing is the disposal material we are reuse, recycling, and get into the gain the system without polluting the environment and reducing the biodiversity loss. That's why my topic is it is the tracker for the conserve the biodiversity. So if we consider main drivers of biodiversity loss, one is the linear and extractive food system. So here we disturb the natural nutrient cycle at multiple scale as habitats are converted to farmland and intensive production in the linear extractive food system. Therefore, the degrades the land, demanding even more land conversion. So when the population increases as an indirect driver, demography, so we need more and more land to cultivate, that is for our food, and more land to house or shelter. Then we degrade our land, demanding more and more land conversion. The main thing is if the most of the we are converting the wetlands, that's a more sensitive, most fragile ecosystem. We are converting this fragile ecosystem to the land area to make houses or housing schemes or make some cropland. And also consumption of resource intensive foods like some other resource intensive foods, the large scale use of grains for animal feed and excessive food waste by consumer. This is another biodiversity loss using the linear and extractive food system. Okay, we are using high technology. That means immediately we can convert some land to the paddy lands, and we can get immediately harvest. And also we are extracting some material from the cropland for the poultry. And also there are many waste after the food production. We throw away most of the food without recycling this material. This is in the linear ecosystem. And also International Resource Panel estimate about half of the total global greenhouse gas emission and more than 90% of the biodiversity loss. Those are related to land use and water stress. Those come from the resource extraction and the processing. So we use, we exploit the forest to make a timber. So therefore biodiversity loss, 90% of the biodiversity loss related to land use. And also there are some water stress from unusable, unethical, and not legal extraction processes. So industrial agriculture, this poorly managed, the mining operation, it pollute the environment and also damaging the biodiversity. So we have to manage, especially the mining operations, these things. And also aquatic ecosystem are threatened by extensive overfishing, pollution stemming from linear production and consumption system, especially the eutrophication because of the land use pattern, agricultural land, we use the nitrate and phosphate. So these are the main nutrients for the eutrophication. So after eutrophication, most of the aquatic ecosystem getting many problems, including the anaerobic condition, algal blooms, and ultimately they are converted into the marshland and then converted into through the succession, they are converting to the dry land. So now we are losing because of this aquatic ecosystems. And these are the pictures of the overfishing. And also we are using a very extensive, super intensive farming system, also damaging the ecosystem, nearby ecosystem, aquatic ecosystem. And due to that, we get more pollution, eutrophication. These are the consequences of the eutrophication because of the deoxygenation of the system. There's no oxygen for fish and they will die, and also due to the toxic material. And this is give some idea about how aquaculture make a problem to the biodiversity. If you consider there are some nutrients like phosphorus, nitrate, ammonium. These are the ammonium are the toxic to the organism. These phosphate, nitrate, they are used in eutrophication. So after eutrophication, it disturbs the trophic balances. And biological, we have a parasite, diseases, escapers, that is mainly for the invasive species and fish aggregation. So these are making some transfer to the wild population, these diseases and parasite, native ecosystem, native animals, species. And then when they escape, they make interbreeding and competition. And some vulnerability of the fish is fish aggregation. So chemical, we have the anesthetics, antibiotics, antifouling, disinfectants, and parasiticides. These affect the non-target organism. It affect the biodiversity. So some antibiotic resistant organism may be live in the this aquatic ecosystem. So if we use some circular economy principles to this aquaculture farming, we can reduce most of these environmental problems. And here we have any system in a product sustainable agriculture system. We have a productive system, environmentally compatible system, a socially relevant and profitable system. Those are related with this production technology, environmental aspects, and the social and the economic aspects. So regarding the plastic pollution, the results of the linear use of the plastic without consideration of the materials, end of life. So this is mainly effect to the turtles because their main food item is the some sea grasses like a sargassum. So all the sargassum also mimic this plastic. So they are get disoriented with this plastic material because they think this is a food item. So they eat this plastic material. So this plastic pollution creates a significant impact on marine biodiversity. They also get the marine food chain and also remote geographic areas like Antarctica. This is a very big problem now, this plastic pollution. Let's see circular solution for the biodiversity using circular ecosystem. So in order to tackle all of these issues, it is necessary to develop solution at the source of the problem. We have to give the answer to the source of the problem, not the middle, not the end. We have to find out what is the source of the problem. Then we can give a solution, or we can give remedies to these problems. In the circular economy aims to reduce the overall level of reuse, resource consumption, and waste output by getting more value from the resource we use and keeping that value in the economy for as long as possible through designing out waste and shifting from owning products to using services. That means the byproducts and waste product we take as a gain as a resources. That is what we call the recycling. So in this way, we can reduce the overall level of resource consumption and the waste output. Okay, this is in the picture to say about the linear. We got resources, we use disposal and incineration. But there's a chance to renewable resources, but we are not doing in here. Also chance to non-renewable resources, not in here, but you can see in here, circular economy, we have resources, use the disposal, we get the renewable resources and the renewable, non-renewable resources. So let's see what is the eco-efficiency and eco-effectiveness. What is the two terms, eco-efficiency and eco-effectiveness? So when working on sustainability with the linear economy, the focus is on eco-efficiency. As I mentioned, in the differences between the circular and the linear economy, the linear economy, we consider the eco-efficiency, not the eco-effectiveness. So try to minimize the ecological impact to get the same output. For example, let's see here we have a cow farm of, for getting the beef. So here they are in these farms, it emits the methane gas, that is the most effective greenhouse gas leading to the global warming. So we can make a production of beef by more sustainable by changing the way cows are fed in linear economy. This is how we reduce the, this is how we do the eco-effectiveness. So there's a buffalo farms, cow farm for the getting the beef. So they emit the methane gas, that is, we have to reduce it through the circular economy. And also we can use some linear economy to the how we fed for the cows. So these feeding methods emit less methane gas for the same amount of meat. If we use the alternative feeding method, we can get less methane gas for the same amount of meat. So this makes the production more eco-efficient. This is what we call the eco-efficient, not eco-effectiveness. But in the circular economy, so production is made from sustainable by not making the beef from cows, but for example, by creating the meat substitute. So there are many plant foods that can substitute the meat. So this is the way in the circular economy, we do the eco-effectiveness. This is eco-efficient, this is eco-effectiveness. We provide some substitute for the beef. So these are substitute. There are many plant foods, those not getting any methane production. So in that way, we can reduce the production of the methane. So for the beef substitute, plants are then grown that contribute to food biodiversity, employment, and landscape management. Okay, if we do the reforestation, if we plant the trees, we can improve the land management, and we can propose some projects. Their projects give some employment. So in this way, the ecological, economic, and social impact of the same production of beef is increased. We are not getting the beef, but we get the substitute of the beef. while increase the biodiversity, while providing the employment and improving the landscape management. So in order to achieve the eco-effectiveness, the residual flows must be reused for the function that is same or even higher than the original function of the material. In the case of the eco-effectiveness, there are some residual flows, so we must be reused for the function that is same or even higher than the original function of the material. So as a result, the value is fully retained or even increased. For example, let's say there's some concrete piles, those are not used. We are going to throw away these concrete slabs. Here in the circular economy, what we are doing, we crush it and make a pellet, small pellets. Then we use to produce the same or a stronger wool. So this is made out from this reusable, considered as a pollute material, garbage, disposal material. But now you can see this disposal material through this process, we make more and stronger wool than this concrete slab. Okay. So this is different in the linear economy. So this is we apply in the circular economy. Okay. But in the linear economy, what we are doing, an eco-efficient system typically works on the downcycling, same concrete slab here. Is a part of the product is reused for the low grade application. So out of this concrete, that reduces the value of the material and makes it difficult to reuse the material flow again. That is absorb the tar we use for the concrete, we use for the pavement of the roads. Now you can see what is the difference between the linear economy and the circular. In the circular economy, we get more good products by the byproducts or waste product. Here, we reduces the value of the material and makes it difficult to reuse the material flow again. We use some asphalt, tar for the roads. So linear economy deals with the raw materials in efficient way because the emphasis is not on their conservation. Linear economy deals with the raw material in inefficient way. The reason is they are not considered about the material conservation. But in the circular economy, emphasis more on the services rather than the products. So in the circular economy, is product-service combination, that is product as a service system, which is seen as a model to integrate products and services. So in the circular economy, product service combination, there's a product and service. So products as a service system. So this is seen as a model to integrate the products and the services. So let's see one example in circular economy. We have a photocopy machine. So companies receive the printer free of charge and pay per copy. Here they pay not for the machine. They receive the printer free of charge. They are not paying any money for the photocopy and give only pay for the copy. So therefore, the owner of the photocopy machines, the Xerox man, he has an interest in ensuring that the printer will last a long time by being able to repair and update. So that means if you want to get more and more copy in the profitable way, you have to conserve, you have to keep in a good condition of this photocopy machine, not to repair and then not to update it. But in linear economy, same photocopy machine, the manufacturer often benefit if the products break down quickly so that it can sell a new product. Because here in this linear economy, they give a priority for the product, not the service. The company like to, if this machine is break down, because he can sell another machine. But here, he is not like to break down because it is a service. He pay the per copy. Therefore, he want to keep this machine as long as possible. But here, he like to break down it because then if he break down it, he can sell another machine quickly to the system, the office, and get more money. This is a difference between the circular economy and the linear economy. So let's see the sectors in biodiversity that benefit from the circular economy. One is the food, the built environment, fashions, plastic packaging. These are some sectors. So let's see in the food. So current food sector is the principal driver of global biodiversity loss and the major contributor for the climate change. In the circular economy for food, it offers the opportunity to ensure that through food redesign, the sector can help nature and people thrive. In circular economy, food production regenerates rather than degrades the environment. Byproducts are recirculated and all people have access to the healthy and nutritious food. This is the main principles in the circular economy regarding the food production section. It regenerates rather than degrades the environment. We use the byproducts. These byproducts are recycled, recirculated, and all people have access to the healthy and nutritious food. So let's see the impact of the food industry on the 5 direct drivers of the global biodiversity loss, especially in the land use chain. Half of the world's habitable land now being converted to agriculture to get the more and more food for the population increase and the population growth, land degradation, and change in consumption pattern. So those are putting more pressure on the converting land on agriculture. When population growth, now as you know, the population ever increasing, then we have to provide more and food. For that, we have to get the more and more land, that is land degradation. And also we are changing the consumption pattern. Now, these all are leading to the converting land for the agriculture. And the overexploitation and another one, so marine fish stock are increasing the overexploit. With the third already classed as overfish in 2015. This is the most overfish area, marine fish. And about 60% of the world plant-derived calories come from just 4 crops: maize, paddy, oats like this. They are main for plant-derived food products. Those are getting from the world, get the more calories. And current agricultural practices are also putting a huge strain on the soil and freshwater resources at a time when 30% of the land around the world is already degraded. Next on pollution, about 70%, 78% of the global eutrophication is caused by the way food is produced today, because we use more and more fertilizers, more and more pesticide, special fertilizers using the nitrate and phosphate. Those are leading to the eutrophication. So in addition, conventional farming practices such as tillage, mismanagement of manure, and excessive utilization of the pesticide and the synthetic fertilizers, all of these have led increase in the air pollution from the agriculture. In climate change, next factor, because of the food production, food manufacturing system, over a third of all anthropogenic greenhouse gas emission that can be attributed to the food system, 70% which come from the agriculture and land use changes, and 30% which come from the rest of the food values chain. And finally, invasive alien species, the combination of food distribution and climate change, those encourage the unintentional invasion of non-native species to new areas. Those can have serious negative consequences for local ecosystem. They will compete with the native species for the breeding, for the food, and ultimately those native species can extinct from the system. So they are more good competitor, invasive species. They can get the areas or habitats of the native species. They are fighting with these native species and they win the fight. So regenerative food production, it increases the biodiversity on farms and the surrounding and nearby ecosystem by improving the soil health, reducing the pollution caused by the excessive use of the synthetic inputs like fertilizers and pesticide, and sequestration the carbon in the soil. So we can, if you use the regenerative food production, we can reduce the amount of carbon on the soil. That is what we call the sequestering the carbon. That means we put the carbon into the soil. The excess food is redistributed and byproducts are transformed for other uses, thereby optimizing what is grown and reducing the pressure to expand agriculture. And what is a regenerative ocean farming? It is using the green wave in the USA. In this picture, you can see in the regenerative ocean farming, we use seaweed, same time we use the scallops, mussels, oysters, and the crab. So these are the unused area in the ocean. So we can use this habitat for the food production. There's a seaweed. All of these are we can ultimately get for our human food. So the polyculture is actually a polyculture model that grows a mix of the seaweed and the shellfish. The plastic packaging, let's see how we use the plastic packaging in the circular economy. So it is unnecessary plastic are eliminated. So innovation ensures that all necessary plastic are reusable, recyclable, or compostable. So these are things we consider in the circular economy. But linear economy, we are not consider reusable, recyclable, or compostable plastic because they are not considered about the product. Only they are considered on the product, not the services. But here we ensure that all the necessary plastic are reusable, recyclable, or compostable. And all used plastic are circulated, keeping them in the economy and out of the environment. So in doing so in this sector, we can minimize the demand for finite virgin materials, eliminate the waste and pollution, and finally reduce the greenhouse emission. So when we reduce the greenhouse emission, it can ultimately reduce the impact to the biodiversity. These are my reference. I use most things are coming from this reference, Ellen MacArthur Foundation, The Nature Imperative. So finally, think about this. So biodiversity is our treasure. We have to conserve it with mindfulness, use in a sustainable way all of the biodiversity resources. So in this way, we can adopt circular economy rather than the linear economy and keep those for future generations. Okay, thank you very much for inviting me again as a keynote speaker. You are welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Now the session is open for if there is any question from participant, they can unmute them and ask question to sir. Then we will conclude this session. If we want to anyone to ask question, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, I have one question that when we are talking about circular economy, so
Yeah.
what are the basic changes on ground level or grassroots level we can change, we can do for changing this linear economy into circular economy?
Yeah, when we grassroots level, the main thing is we should change our attitudes because our main attitudes is we are not thinking about when we are using any product, we are not thinking about the nature, no. Even what happened after that, after we use it. So if we change our attitude, if we change our mind in the way of the conserving the biodiversity in the grade 1 or even lower than the grade 1 student, if we aware them, if we make aware of them and you change their attitude about the conservation, we can change this problem. So, okay, answer? Last level?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Main thing is that we have to change the attitude.
Yes, sir.
Most of the question most of the problems in the whole over country, that is about the attitudes.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Okay, sir. Sir, you have given the nice lecture on circular economy. In his lecture, sir, I explained the principles of circular economy. Then types of linear economy, 3 R's. That means recycle, reuse, reduce, restore. That means we can reduce our pollutions. And sir also explain the difference between the circular economy and linear economy. Again, sir also focus on the main cause of loss of biodiversity, which may be industrial, agriculture, mining. There are different factors which causes the environmental pollution. Main cause is nothing but the effect of the plastic. The plastic causes major pollution in a different systems or in the environment. Also, there it causes impact on the food industry. And lastly, sir, highly focus on save nature, save us. Thanks, sir, for nice presentation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now, all the participants are requested kindly join particular subject. Their presentation is going on. Thanks. The links are also provided on the separate links are provided